Hold on 1 second. Come on. Okay. So it just randomly started raining, and I love it. Okay, hold on, okay? Let me just do this really quick, and then we'll go downstairs. So, random live, guys. You know, every time I have some thoughts that I want to share, I just pop up. This has been coming up. Hold on, Yafa, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me finish this, and then we'll go outside, okay? It's raining. So anyways, this is just something that's been coming up. I just took some random notes on this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It's going to be probably a little scatterbrained because, like I said, I just kept thinking about this, and then more people kept posting about it, and I was like, you know what, maybe this is something that I should share my thoughts around it. So the topic of this quick live is how to find your identity. And I think it's important because literally just before like doing this post, someone posted that someone inquired about her product and like got some information or something. I don't know, like, or act like she sent some information and then they acted like they didn't see the information that she sent, and then like later on she saw them post like literally the exact stuff she just sent them in DMs. So people copying each other, whether it's blatant, where they are just literally taking people's stuff and copying other people's stuff, or it may be subconscious, where they don't really know they're doing it, where they will listen to someone who is super tapped in, and then all of a sudden they have this like shift, and they equate that shift to like, oh my gosh, like this epiphany I just discovered, and then go and like regurgitate that information. So they didn't necessarily come up with it, but they're kind of like reiterating something else that they've heard from someone in a way that has shifted their perspective. So all of it, I feel like, comes down to the root of a lot of people suffer from the inability of like just knowing who they are, like having their identity. So what happens is they just have to copy, you know, what others are doing. And this impacts people in so many ways, from copying what other people are doing to also looking outside of themselves and looking at other people for their answers, chasing like the next answer somewhere. Like this person has the, like it's a root cause that has several different problems. So if you spend any time with me, one of the biggest things that I like to do, especially when it comes to like elevating yourself, is I always tell my friends to find the root, like pray for guidance and wisdom to find the root cause of whatever your current situation is. Because more than likely your current situation is like a byproduct of a root cause. So what happens is that when you seek out the root cause, you end up solving like 10, 15 like other problems because you found the source. Instead of trying to tackle every single problem one by one, there has to be some like source. So I always say like just go to the source. So I've noticed that because people don't have the ability to find their identity, it's causing so many problems, causing them to copy other people, causing them to feel like they're lost, causing them to feel like they can't find their purpose, causing them to feel like they can't find their voice, causing them to regurgitate other people's information. It has a lot of causes, okay? So I want to try to give a practical way on how to get close to your identity, because especially in this current age with like the Great Resignation, where a lot of people are quitting their jobs, they're feeling purposeless, they're feeling a little bit empty, they want to like, they just want to, it's a feeling inside. When you feel like you have purpose, it gives you a sense of natural motivation, natural empowerment, natural drive, and that's what a lot of us see. And fulfillment, you feel fulfilled even if you haven't like reached a goal or whatever, but the fact that you have purpose, you have some sort of natural drive and destination, helps you feel fulfilled. And that's a huge feeling that I know a lot of people want to feel. So one kind of like, so I'm going to try to just tell you my story and how I figured this out. And then hopefully you can, take that away and use it to like discover your own, situation. So one thing at the top of this year, I started to tell myself is that I just, like I said, I talked about my other lessons, you have to be an observer. So I started to observe that I was trying to get so much information over the last couple of years from other people, like outside of myself. Looking to this person for the answer, looking to that person for a solution, because it's like, wow, they've got it. They have their voice. Like they're very confident. They're very self-assured. Like what they say, like my mind is being shifted. And so I started to feel like I was relying on, a lot of these self-help coaches, success coaches, and all these things to like give me answers. Then something sort of hit me in the sense of I'm like, all of these people they all have a story where they started somewhere, right? Some people may have started and they were bankrupt. Some people may have started and they were in debt. Like they have all these stories. And I was like, and they were able to figure out like their answers and elevate themselves. Like in a sense of like a lot of the leaders and the coaches that you like and that you follow or success, Tony Robbins, Abraham Hicks, whatever. They found their answers from somewhere. So instead of, so then I said to myself, well, instead of me like reading this success book or reading that, listening to this success podcast, or like trying to find my answers in other people, I'm like, why can't I like figure it out myself? Like, because they've figured something out. Like they've figured out their own method that's helped them have like their quantum leap. They figure out their own method that's helped like take them out of the situation and, into a better place. Now, there's a difference between using and investing in information, whether it be a coach, a program, whatever, and doing that from a conscious place because you want to learn how they view a problem in their perspective versus relying on them for the answers. That's two different things. So I said to myself, I was like, there's a lot of people that I want to learn from, but I didn't want to carry the energy anymore of like, if I don't learn from this person, I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to get my answer. And I was like, so if they were able to figure out their own answer, then I should be able to figure it out too on my own. Like, why do I have to, rely on their money mindset, program in order to shift my beliefs? They've clearly figured something out. And why can't I do that too? So that was literally like the first birthing of like me trying to just actually realize like I want to trust myself. I want to tap into my intuition and I want to find my own identity and my own voice. I don't want to like have to rely on someone to sort of up the next level because I'm like, we all have it within us to find that answer. And sometimes our intuition will tell us that's when we need to phone a friend or like that's when you need to like take that course. But like I said, there's a difference between like knowing that that's what you want to do versus relying on that, like chasing that for the answer. So hopefully this makes sense because this is just like something that came to me. So what I started to do was the first step to change anything inside of your life is obviously awareness. You have to be aware of it. You have to recognize it. You have to see what it is. You have to see the behavior that's keeping you in that like pattern or whatever you're trying to shift from. You need to figure out the things that you need to remove, and then you need to replace it with the things that you need to become in order to then elevate to that next place, and not only elevate, but maintain that elevation and continue to grow. So I said to myself, well, one thing that I noticed that a lot of these powerful people that have their, so-called identity is that they're really good at storytelling. So that's when I started to take like storytelling courses, storytelling classes, and just kind of really learning the art of storytelling and like sharing my story in a way that helps to kind of like the Tony Robbins way where it's inspired action, not just like, oh, like, let me hit the like button, like you inspire me, but more so inspired action. So I started to learn the art of storytelling. But I think like the most important thing that I, discovered from like the process of saying like I want to find my own identity was learning how to trust my intuition. Basically, if I had a problem, I started to observe and assess how I looked at that problem. Did I go to did I have that problem and I immediately need to run to someone else to find the answer? Right? So like sometimes, I don't know if anyone's in like therapy. I don't know if anyone does this, but like sometimes you like wait till therapy in order to like solve your problems, or you like phone a friend or immediately call someone before you solve your problems, versus kind of like sitting with it, letting it like marinate, giving it the space and saying like, okay, you know what, I have this problem. And then like letting then an idea, something pop into your head that's related to, excuse me, that problem, and then acting on that idea, getting your desired result, and then realizing like, oh my gosh, like I didn't like ask my friend to help me with this. I didn't like, wait till to see my therapist to answer this question. Like I just tapped into my own intuition, and wow, it like really worked. Like it really led me to like the next place. So I say that to say, tapping into, first, being aware that you want to find your own identity, being aware that like all these other people that you're looking for, you can just as easy as it looks, that they have found their answer, they have found their solution, they have found like this spark inside of them. You can find that too. Like you can find that inside. I don't know what it's going to look like for you. Everyone is so different, but it just starts with the desire. Hey Brenda, it just starts with the desire to want to find your own identity. Okay? And I believe that in order to do that, it's learning to trust yourself. So having faith in yourself, having faith in your decisions, and coming to yourself first as your own best friend and own problem solver. So I always go to myself first. Well, for me, my process is God and the Bible. I believe that all the answers are in the Bible. So if I have a problem, I will pray, I will invite the Holy Spirit in, and then I will tackle it in the Bible, and then usually I have my answer. So it allows me to trust myself, it allows me to have faith, it allows me to feel connected to a source. And because of that trust, I'm free then to just be myself. I'm free then to then I trust myself so much that I can trust myself to just be myself, to like be the unique version of myself, to like find my own identity and not rely on someone else to like find the answers. And that's what I really want so much. I know this is like not necessarily like a practical takeaway, type of live. I want so much for people to find their identity. I don't even want people relying on me. That's why in my program, I don't let a lot of people make it. If you want to come to me with excuses, it's just not going to happen here. Like I hold you accountable. I hold space for like, you said you want to become and be this person. So I hold space for you, and I don't let you make it. I don't let you fall back into your excuses or limiting beliefs that hold you back from stepping into this new version of you, because I know that as a leader, your teacher, you're, someone that's supposed to, empower you. I can't let you do that. I can't also make you do the work, but I know where it's my role to like ask the questions. Well, hey, did you really try this strategy? How many times did you try the strategy? What did you? And then through that discovery, I realized, okay, maybe they haven't actually done the work and they just kind of like give up too easily. And guess what? Well, we're going to work through that. And I'm going to go back and say, hey, look, if you need an accountability partner, I will be your accountability partner. Check in with me in 3 days time with the current task list. And then guess what? They feel empowered. They do it. They level up. They grow. They get these results. So like my students' results aren't like from me. It's just me knowing that I can hold space for them in order to get those results. And because I see that in myself. And so this is what it goes back to, like finding your identity is just the desire to know, to just ask, like whatever your process is, however you receive information, whatever your beliefs are, just ask for your ability to know truly who you are, your identity, how you speak, how you talk, how you think, how your creativity is supposed to be expressed into this world. We don't need to so much focus on like what exactly like our purpose is or our goals are or what we're supposed to be, do in life. You really feel fulfilled when you can literally be yourself every day. Like I'm so solid in my identity that when people say like, let's say for my Instagram, like you don't really see my face a lot on my Instagram. They're like, oh, well, you're not going to make it if you don't see like your face on Instagram. But I'm like, that's not true. Not only am I making like tens of thousands of dollars, I have so many people that know me, know who I am because of the way that I do my business, the way that I experience my brand and my relationship with my customers, because I do it my way. Not when you don't have a solid root in your identity, you are constantly looking for others for guidance and how to be, on how to act. You are constantly letting society and what everyone else says, dictate how you move, how you run your business, how you live. And that's exhausting. Like, it's just not fun. So then you end up, being resentful about your business, being resentful about your customers, being resentful about where you are in life. Like I said, it just breeds like a whole thing of problems instead of just being seen for who you are, being able to just be yourself, being able to just express yourself. So yeah, we got to just stop, take a minute and stop and just seek the desire of like wanting to find your identity. Like just ask, like, how do I find my identity? And stay aware and stay open. And those answers are going to reveal themselves to you. Like I said, for me, it's my relationship with God. And I just go to the Word. The Word has all the answers for me. God, made me very unique. So he now shows me how I can express that uniqueness and just literally get to be myself. And I would say this, one of the most important things too, is that whatever you're really good at or you want to be known as an expert for, then instead of chasing sales goals and, all these other things, get really good at your craft. Get really good at your expertise so that you can literally talk about it with your, if someone says like, hey, I'm about to put you on a spot in front of like 10,000 people and you have like 3 minutes to talk about your offer, you're not going to be worried or freaking out about what to say. You're going to just like know what to say off top because you're so good at your craft. When you're so good at your craft and you bring people into your world and get them results, like it's going to be undeniable that you're going to be successful. But when you're kind of lukewarm at your craft and then you're chasing this person's idea on how to succeed and that person's idea and you're not really yourself, it's going to show. And here's the downside of copying other people, whether it be intentional or not, is that you have to maintain that false identity. And you don't even really know how they came up with that like profound idea. So now like you either get to a point where you're always copying them, and then it gets to the point where like that other person's like fan base is like, hey, you're copying like such and such, and then like they put you on blast. That's one thing. Or you don't get the results that you want, you don't get the sales that you want, you get a lot of chargeback. Like it could be whatever. Your reviews are poor. It's because you have an identity that wasn't yours. It's kind of like, what Ziba did to Mephibosheth. He stole his property and used it as his own, and tried to pass off, to King. I believe it was like King David at the time. Pass off, all the goats and the donkeys and as his, and say, oh, look, I brought this, when it wasn't his idea. He stole someone else's idea, and so guess what? He has to maintain that lie. Maintaining a lie or maintaining a false identity is so hard. It's exhausting. So when you get to just be yourself, there is a deep sense of fulfillment. There is a deep sense of feeling whole. There is a deep sense of completion that comes across inside of you. Okay. And so I don't really know. I'm, trying to, this is like just something that I've just, like I said, seen come up. A lot of people like feeling like they've been copied. A lot of people feel like there's a lot of inauthenticity inside the business world, and, everyone's just kind of feeling lost. And so I just wanted to speak on it, but I feel like the first step in finding your identity is the desire to want to find your identity. Then you're going to start to get the things that are going to work for you. That's going to help support it. So like I said, for me, it was asking that I wanted to find my identity, knowing that then the next thing was like, oh, I want to do it through storytelling. Okay, then like getting deep into storytelling. Oh, okay, you know what? I want a faith walk. Like I want to be an out loud Godprenuer. Okay, cool. That feels good. And it just kept forming for me. But it was the desire to just be myself and to just kind of like sit down and learn myself. I mean, I think I've kind of always known what I like and don't like. And I've kind of always had, I just like to do things my way. So if did it not feel good for me, if it was like not a good idea, I just wasn't going to do it. So I've kind of always had that awareness, but paying attention to like how you feel in life, like the things you say yes to and the things you say no to, but then how you feel about those things, right? Like did that yes meant that you sacrificed yourself, so that wasn't necessarily the best yes for you? Do you feel afraid sometimes when you say no? Because then you're going to really start to learn yourself, learn who you are, learn how you think, learn what's in your mind, learn how you feel, learn how you love, learn how you do business, all these different things. And so when you have that, that can come out inside of your identity. You get to express your identity instead of being told, how to express your identity. So like tap in, like just tap in with yourself and literally just be yourself in your business. Okay. And again, these people that we idolize in some way, that seem like they have the answer because they're like living their most amazing truth, they were in a low place too where they didn't have their identity, and they were able to tap in and find it. So why can't you do the same thing? That way, when you buy their program, you buy their course, you buy their offer, you're not doing it because a need of like, oh my gosh, they have something that I just need, and like that's gonna be my answer. Then you buy something, you feel like empty again. You're gonna do it because you're doing it from a place of power where you're like, oh, you know what? They have some information that I'm like, I just really like the way this person thinks. Like we are in the same energy wave. I want to invest in them because I want to see their perspective on such and such, versus I need to do this because this is like, going to be how like I'm going to level up or, get my answer. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And it's so cool because literally stuff will pop into your head, and it's your voice. It's your thoughts. It's literally your unique voice that you were given to express yourself to the world in only your unique way, that's not tainted by how someone else says something or does something. It's you. It's just you. So just seek to like know your identity. Start there, and then be an observer of your thoughts from that moment, and you will start to see the path unfold before you that's going to show you your way, to your identity. And if there is anybody that, does like to find their identity through God and through the Bible, then you're more than welcome to DM me and talk about it, because I got some resources for you. And I'm telling you, he will do a good work in you. But if that's not your way, then just like I said, the first step up to change is awareness. And, then your path will unfold. So yeah, this was my random rambling live. If you're just kind of joining in this like live series, I made a commitment a couple months ago to stop trying to make things so perfect. I like to have perfect presentations and like make it make sense. I'm going to ramble, and I'm just going to get stuff out of my head whenever I feel it. So this is me showing up and committing to that. Because again, maybe somebody somewhere, even if it doesn't make sense, will receive it, and it'll hopefully be, the answer to their prayers. Okay. So yeah, happy, Wednesday, and, I will see you guys in my next random live. Peace out.